Double knitting makes fantastic pillows because the fabric is somewhat dense and thick and holds its shape very well, which helps the pillows to hold their shape very well. So this movie is about making the cable on this pillow. There is another movie about making the vertical stripes that appear on this pillow. And if you find that you enjoy double knitted pillows, there are more of them in the Picture This book available on Ravelry. This pattern's also on Ravelry. This loom is very handy in that it has numbers for the stitches. And I need some purl stitches in order to make these cables stand out. So my purl stitches are going to occur on pegs 30 on this loom, 26 and 22. And they are made by placing the wrap under rather than over the previous stitch and pulling it up through. So that was peg 30. Here is peg 26. And here is peg 22. Up through. The remainder of the wrap is ordinary stockinette. For this project, the purling and cabling only takes place on one side of the fabric, the side towards me. The back is plain stripes. Every fourth row, we not only purl 3 of the stitches to set aside the cable, we cross the cable. So let me knit over these few stitches and we will be ready to do that. Each cable, actually this is 2 cables, it may look like one big one, but each cable really consists of 3 stitches, 2 of them cables, that is, side by side. Purl stitch, 3 knit stitches, purl stitch, 3 knit stitches, purl stitch. The only purpose of these purls is to create an indentation in the fabric so that the knit cables will show up more dramatically. 22, 26, and 30 are purled. 23, 4, 5, and 27, 8, 9 are cable stitches. So I'm going to lift 23. For the purposes of showing you, I'm going to let another peg hold it. Normally I just pinch it between my fingers, but I'm going to stay out of your way so you see as well as possible. Now stitch 24 moves to peg 23. Stitch 25 moves to peg 24. And the held stitch moves to the opposite position. So the stitches have now crossed. Leave 26 alone. I will show you a chart that has these numbered just using the cable stitches, and I'll describe it with those numbers as well, because you won't necessarily be using a loom numbered 1 to 50. Leave that one alone. I'm making this cable in the opposite direction. So the outer stitch is just going to be held, and I want these cables to twist away from each other. The next 2 move over. These are what will appear in the front and appear to twist away from one another. This moves towards the center, so you can see the wraps in there. One is a mirror image of the other now that the cables are crossed. And that is what creates this look. Simple as can be. Now let's go through this again, numbering the stitches from left to right, 1 through 9. Stitch 1 is a purl stitch. 2, 3, and 4 are knit stitches. They will form a cable. Stitch 5 is a purl. 6, 7, and 8 will form a cable. They are knit stitches, and 9 is a purl stitch. Now we'll go through this again with the new numbering. Stitch 1, stitch 5, and stitch 9. Never move. Stitches 3 and 4 go to pegs 2 and 3, and the stitch that was on 2 goes to 4. Stitches 6 and 7 moves over to pegs 7 and 8, and stitch 9 moves to peg 7 after that. The cables should not be terribly difficult to cross, and they should not distort the loom or put a lot of stress on the yarn. If that is happening, you may be wrapping overly tightly or trying to use too thick of a yarn for the gauge of loom. This is really quite a simple, pleasant process. Have fun with it.